Bro, my stash is getting kind of crazy. Looking like Chairman Rose out here. Anyway, the next Pokémon Presents has finally been confirmed. Even though pretty much everyone assumed that it was going to be on Pokémon Day, which is February 27th, Pokémon themselves hadn't announced it until today, if I can edit this video fast enough. So of course, I'm here to share with you all my hopes and predictions for this Pokémon Presents. And I am still recovering from a cold that I had this past week, so my voice might be a little rough. I might be speaking a little quieter than usual, which some people might actually like. As far as my predictions go, I'm going to be basing them all mainly on past Pokémon Presents, patterns that I've noticed when it comes to what they reveal on which years, and of course the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, which has been revealed, but still has an upcoming presentation in April revealing the actual games coming for it and features and stuff like that. So let's begin with the most obvious prediction, which is of course Pokémon Legends Z-A. It will have been exactly 1 year since the announcement trailer, and that is maybe the longest Pokemon have ever gone from announcing a game to having another trailer come out. Like usually within a year the game will have released, but of course Legends Z-A, we learned from the Terra leak, was actually delayed and was originally meant to come out in 2024. Now, of course, that original trailer never gave us a release date, we just know 2025, so we still aren't sure exactly when the game is coming, but that will for sure be revealed in this presentation, with most rumors claiming it's coming out at some point in the early summer, but others leaning more towards winter 2025 since most mainline Pokemon games come out right before the holidays. Now, I have some specific predictions as to what will be in the ZA trailer, but to keep this video a little easier to understand, I'm going to go through in the order of which I think things will be revealed in this Pokemon Presents. And if you guys have watched Pokemon Presents before, you know that they like to start it off with a whole bunch of mobile game announcements, or I guess updates to their already existing games like Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon TCG Pocket. Holy crap, there's a lot of Pokemon mobile games, but I can tell you the number one that I'm hoping for, and it's actually a video I did a couple weeks ago about Pokemon Unite. Now this is of course Pokemon's version of League of Legends that released all the way back in 2021, so it's actually coming up on its 4-year anniversary. And since release, the game has received tons of updates and new characters to the roster, but only recently, I think late last year, released in China. Except their version of Pokemon Unite is vastly different, and some would say upgraded. But most recently they added an entirely new mode that is basically Pokemon's version of TFT, or the auto chess, auto battler genre. I would personally love for this mode to come to the Western version of Pokemon Unite, whether it's through just a regular update to the existing Unite or an entirely new version like a Pokemon Unite 2, if you will, that includes all of the upgrades or changes that the Chinese version has. Either way, I just want to be able to play the auto chess game in English because I actually tried out the Chinese version and it was really fun. Like, I just love auto chess and I think it's a concept that perfectly fits Pokemon, so I would love to see it come to the West. And that is going to be my first prediction when it comes to the whole mobile game segment. As far as the other games, honestly, I don't play any of them other than Pokemon TCG Pocket, which it would not be surprising at all if they announced some kind of new expansion, maybe one relating to Pokemon Legends Z-A or Legends Arceus, since the last one was Diamond and Pearl. Maybe this one could be like Arceus themed or something. But a Kalos expansion might be cool to tie into Legends Z-A, like Xerneas Yveltal being the covers, or maybe even Zygarde itself. Moving on, we have another very hot topic in the Pokemon community. At least in the last couple of years, every single Pokemon Presents, or I guess leading up to it, I see rumors of classic Pokemon games coming to the NSO, or Nintendo Switch Online. I think I might have an answer as to why this never happened, because even though Nintendo publishes Pokemon games, they don't actually make them. And so if they were to put Pokemon games into NSO, they'd probably have to pay Game Freak an insane amount equivalent to how much they would have made if they were resold like back on the 3DS. Because of this, I think it's a lot more likely that instead of Pokemon games coming to NSO, we might actually get something like a Pokemon Collection or Classic Collection, which is another rumor I've seen for like the last 3 years floating around and still has yet to happen. Like I said, I've seen this prediction around for years and it never comes true, so I'm gonna try reverse manifesting and just say, it's never gonna happen, guys. Stop wishing for this. There's one more prediction or hope that I've got, and it's in the realm of Pokemon spin-offs. Now, we've gotten quite a few good ones on the Nintendo Switch. Particularly, I was very fond of New Pokemon Snap and the Mystery Dungeon DX remake. But there was another smaller game you might remember called Pokemon Quest, another game that's been getting a heck of a lot of updates exclusively in China. Now, I don't particularly have much hope that these updates are going to come to the West, because I think there's a reason Pokemon Quest was kind of like shelved over here. Maybe it wasn't too popular, but I had some fun playing it. You know, it'd be cool to get some updates, or I guess a Pokemon Quest 2 that includes all of that stuff. Because the Switch 2 is right around the corner though, I feel like this would more likely come to mobile instead of the Switch. I think in China actually Pokemon Quest is a mobile game, so might make more sense to put it on mobile devices since the Switch is on its way out already. But as far as what I would most hope for is a Pokepark 3, baby. That's right, it's finally time to bring this classic Wii series back. Right as the Switch is basically laying in its deathbed, there is no better time to bring back Pokepark. I'm kidding, of course. In fact, because of the Switch 2's release being so close, I don't think we're actually going to get any more spin-off Pokemon games announced. I mean, it seems like Legends Z-A and Metroid Prime 4 are going to be like the last two original Switch games, and then everything else after will be Switch 2. So the chances we get anything else for the Switch itself announced seem pretty slim. However, if I do want to be hopeful, I would actually want to see a remake of the Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time and Darkness, or better yet, Explorers of Sky, one of the best Pokemon spin-offs ever made. But now, let's get into what I know you've all been waiting for, Pokemon Legends Z-A. Are we finally gonna get some gameplay? The answer, I don't know. I mean, I freaking hope so. Anyway, I do think we are going to see gameplay this time around. In fact, I'm going to give you a play-by-play of exactly how I think this trailer will go down. So if you don't remember, the reveal trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus started off with a desk and 3 storybooks stacked on top of each other, with the top book opening up to reveal the story of Hisui. And I think it'd be really sick if they called back to this, and the story of Legends Z-A is actually the green book on this table, and it opens up to reveal Lumiose of the past. I know there's been a lot of debates about when this game will take place, whether it's in the past or the future, or even the present, which I find a little weird. Like, there's a lot of people saying now that the game takes place slightly after X and Y. In this game, we're going to be redeveloping Lumiose so that people and Pokemon can coexist. In the present day Lumiose of X and Y, you can definitely see people and Pokemon coexisting happily. You can see Pokemon in the cafes and the parks, plazas, which to me at least implies this will definitely take place in the past, similar to the timeline of Hisui. Most likely late 19th century, which is in real life equivalent to the renovation of Paris, or the time period in which the Eiffel Tower was originally built. In fact, I have a little theory that in this game, we're actually going to be building the Eiffel Tower, or Prism Tower as it's called in Pokemon, which will eventually become the first ever gym, the idea of like Pokemon trainers becoming a profession. I think it'd be really cool to tell that story of how that came to be, and Lumiose seems like the perfect place to do it with this whole redevelopment thing. As far as this trailer though and what will actually be revealed, it'll no doubt start with scenes of our character walking through the streets of Lumiose, with them most likely being ancestors or predecessors of Calem and Serena from X and Y. Although, they could switch it up and maybe we play as like the ancestors of Hilda and Hilbert from Black and White. That would certainly send people in a spiral about Black and White remakes or Black and White 3. Besides for the main characters, it's pretty likely we're going to be meeting some other ancestors, most likely the leader of this Quasar organization, or the redevelopment team that's like rebuilding the city. This is definitely going to be the equivalent to the Galaxy Expedition Squad from the first game, except I guess they could be loosely based on Team Flare, with possibly Lysander as the leader. I mean, again, if they just want to copy paste what worked in Legends Arceus, that'd be the easiest thing to do, but maybe it'll be a classic switcheroo where Professor Sycamore's ancestor will be the bad guy. Wait, actually that's Legends Arceus. But if I had to guess which characters will appear in this specific trailer, definitely Professor Sycamore and Lysander would be at the top of the list. Maybe Champion Diantha? Although I don't think we saw Volo in the very first Legends trailer, but considering how long we've waited, I feel like they might reveal a little bit more than the first Legends Arceus trailer did. Which of course brings us to the starter Pokemon. It is all but guaranteed that we'll see the starter Pokemon in this trailer, since that was one of the first things revealed for Legends Arceus. But as far as what those starters will actually be, there's been two main theories. One of them, of course, being a mixed bag of starters from different regions like we had in Legends Arceus. And if that's the case, then my picks would be Litten, Chikorita, and Sobble. I actually did a video about this on my second channel if you guys want to check it out. But most fans seem to agree that it'll actually be Piplup, Snivy, and Scorbunny. However, there's another theory that it'll actually be the Kalos starters again. And this is of course based off some key art that was leaked back during the Pokemon Terra League about the World Championships of 2025 featuring the Kalos starters, which doesn't confirm that it's just going to be the Kalos starters in this game, but they're going to be obtainable at some point and likely have Mega Evolutions. Point is that we're definitely going to get the reveal of the starters in this trailer. But there's one more feature I think they absolutely have to show off before ending off this trailer: Mega Evolution. And the main theory I've seen going around is that the Mega Evolutions in this game will be sort of like the noble Pokemon were in Legends Arceus. Basically boss battles where you have to calm them down, and it does fit with the original lore of Mega Evolutions at least, where the Pokemon were sometimes enraged or in pain just from being Mega Evolved. But I think the main question on everyone's mind regarding Megas returning is how they'll actually work, since at least Legends Arceus had no held items or abilities. So my prediction would be that this trailer will first show off some of the old Mega Evolutions like the Kanto starters, Garchomp, Lucario, the most popular ones, just to showcase the new mechanics of how Mega Evolution works. In terms of gameplay, because like I mentioned, there's some differences in Legends Arceus that may or may not be carrying over into ZA, but the Mega Evolution I think is most likely to appear in this trailer, at least as a little teaser, is of course Mega Zygarde. Considering Zygarde is the poster child of this game and they have to show the front cover potentially having Zygarde on it, or even Mega Zygarde, I think it'd make a lot of sense to show off Mega Zygarde in this trailer as the first officially revealed Mega Evolution, even if it is like a CGI cutscene or just a little teaser. I don't know why, I just have this gut feeling that that is going to be the first new Mega Evolution revealed. But if Game Freak want to absolutely break the internet, which like after a whole year of no trailer might be in their best interest, then my biggest hope and final prediction is that they'll reveal the Mega Evolutions for the Kalos starters. And that's going to be the end of the Pokemon Presents. Or is it? Because of course there's one more potential reveal on the horizon: Pokemon's 10th generation. It may seem a little early to reveal this, but Pokemon's 30th anniversary is coming up next year, and all signs seem to be pointing to Gen 10 coming out on the 30th anniversary. But also based on past Pokemon Presents, there's been a pretty solid pattern established that every 3 years they reveal a new generation, and believe it or not, it has been 3 years since the reveal of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But I will put an asterisk on this in that usually Pokemon games, or I guess new generations, are revealed on the same year as they're going to be released, which means if they did show off Gen 10 the next week, then it would actually be coming out holidays of this year. So we'd actually get Pokemon Legends Z-A and Gen 10 both in 2025, which would be absolutely insane after the drought we had last year. However, because next year is the 30th anniversary, I think it's more likely they break that 3-year cycle and do Gen 10 in 2026. But that doesn't mean we won't get a little sneak peek at it. A lot of you might not remember this, but back in 2016, what we got was a very hype and very nostalgic trailer running us through every generation, and a bunch of concept art ultimately ending with the logos of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. No gameplay, just a tiny teaser, but again, this was on the 20th anniversary, so I kinda lean more towards Gen 10 being revealed next year. However, there is that tiny glimmer of hope that maybe they do a little tease and let speculation run wild for the next year, kinda like they did with Legends Z-A. But with that, the Pokemon Presents will come to an end. After the drought of last year, just the Legends Z-A trailer will be enough to satisfy me at least. But if they do add that cherry on top of Gen 10, oh my god, the internet is gonna go crazy. So let me know what you guys think, or what you're most hoping gets revealed. And make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already, because I will of course be doing trailer breakdowns and a live reaction to the Pokemon Presents on February 27th, starting at 6 a.m. Pacific time, which is 8 a.m. for me. I don't know what time it is for you. I don't know where you live. Do you want me to know where you live? That's kind of concerning. But I hope you'll join me in the reaction and of course all the videos coming after. There's gonna be a lot of theories. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So hit that like button if you guys are excited and I'll catch you then.